Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake Up, Wake Up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Morning, everybody. It's Friday, December 29th. This is the last Friday of 2023.
Oh, it's wild.
I know. Can you believe the year is already over?
No.
Can you believe that your 6-month vacation from the Red Inn is 1/3 of the way over? 2 of your 6 months off is over.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
What am I gonna do? Everyone who's currently at work watching the show right now is like,
What have you been doing for the last 2 months? What have you been doing for the last 12? Wait, before we get into that.
Okay.
You guys, we have a great show for you today.
We really do.
Tell them who's on the show.
I got to chat with Marti Gould Cummings about their show at the Crown this weekend yesterday, so we have a little video of that for you.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Carlos coming in to talk about the drawing sessions at the Gifford House.
Mm-hmm. Right after Halloween, I got to sit down with Rick Murray to talk about the 30th anniversary of Mussel Beach. 30 years.
And we also have Miguel coming in to talk about his, he's seeking love stories. I wish I had one.
You're seeking love stories.
Yeah, Provincetown love stories. And I've been here 8 years and not a lot of love stories.
You have found love in the last 8 years.
We can call it that.
Finding it and hanging on to it are two different things.
That is true. That
It's
is true.
like sand through our hands.
I usually send it away on a ferry sometime in mid-September.
Oh, that's a love story.
I guess that's true. That is a classic Provincetown love story.
It is. You go to drop your trick off on the ferry and you pick a new one up that's coming off of the ferry.
No, there was one summer where I'm fairly certain the people who work the desk at the ferry were like, is this person crazy? Because I'd be there like every few days tearfully saying goodbye to someone. And they're like, that's a different one, right? It was kind of embarrassing, but romantic and sweet and very P-Town.
Don't you think they see a lot of that?
Probably.
I bet.
Yeah.
I put money on it.
Wiping the tears away and then, oh, that one just got off. That's a classic Provincetown love story. Yeah. It was Christmas last week. How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was really fantastic.
You spent it here in Provincetown, right?
Yes. So, I like to go home for Christmas, like 2 weeks before Christmas, so that I can be here for the actual holiday when you don't really want to be traveling, or at least I don't really want to be traveling right then. So Sean Burke hosted at the Red Inn for family and friends. This is like maybe the 4th year in a row that we all did this together. It was really nice.
That just sounds
My
really
friend
nice.
Michael Ponte has made it a tradition of coming to Provincetown for Christmas. We had a really, really lovely time. Sean bought more prime rib than I've ever seen in my life.
Damn.
And like he was in the kitchen, like cutting it up. And each piece, I was like, that piece is 4 pounds. Like, are you going to put that on somebody's plate?
Damn.
And he was like, people can take the rest home. And I was like, it just was so
Prime
much
rib
meat.
sandwiches.
It was the most meat I've ever seen. It was delicious. So thank you, Sean and Scott.
That sounds gorgeous.
What did you do for Christmas?
I had a not great Christmas. I was very sick
What?
the morning of Christmas. I made it down to my parents' house in Connecticut, hung out with my parents the night before, and then woke up the next morning with a stomach issue and spent the day in my parents' guest bed, writhing in pain.
Well, they were all opening presents in the next room.
No, they went to my sister's for Christmas.
You were alone in this house, writhing in agony.
Yeah.
What was the problem?
A stomach issue.
What does that mean?
A stomach issue. It was just a very unenjoyable stomach issue, and it wasn't fun. It was probably the worst pain I've experienced in my life, and that is tempered with a bit of privilege. I've been a person who's been lucky enough to not experience a lot of bodily pain in my life, but this was the worst pain I had experienced in my life.
What made it go away?
It just went away.
Maybe it was psychosomatic.
Time made it go away. This is a really not pretty story, everyone. I had not a great Christmas, but the days before and the days after were fantastic.
What was your favorite present?
My favorite present. So it's actually funny. Me and do you know how like your siblings in your family have like weird little things that you kind of bond over, like from your childhood and stuff? My sister and I very much have a love that we share for McDonald's chicken nuggets and specifically sweet and sour sauce. Oh, what?
Hot mustard.
Hot mustard
or honey. When I was a kid, it was honey. Now as an adult, it's hot mustard.
See, it's always sweet and sour for me. And if I'm in a car for over an hour, it's just like, well, like I gotta get some chicken nuggets. So my sister, it's probably the cheapest gift I got, but also like one of my favorites that I got. There are these clips that you put in your air vent in your car that hold a little sauce packet.
No way.
Yeah, so they clips on your vent, and then it's like a little container that you can put the sauce packet in. So while you're driving and eating nuggets with one hand, you can dip.
That's I need that.
Yeah.
The dip comes through the car.
Exactly.
If you don't spill it on your leg.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is it's made for, because you know all the sauces are the same, like Burger King, McDonald's, they're all the same size, so it's made for those. And then it came with like a little cup that you put in the same spot for, and it's like you squeeze ketchup packets into it, and I'm just like, and then what? Then we wanted to take it into my house to wash it, to then put it back in my. I'm like, that's never going to happen. So I threw them out so I won't be tempted to ever do that. And then have like a little rotting plastic cup of ketchup kicking around my car for a month.
Oh my God.
I just know, I know the person that I am, and I try to
not be that person?
Not allow myself to be that person. I'm like, I'm gonna throw this away so I can't be yucky.
You know, you weren't the only person writhing in agony in bed on Christmas Day. Mark Garrett was also painfully.
We had sympathy pains for each other.
Yeah. I'm so glad that everyone's feeling better now.
Me too. Yeah.
Happy, healthy 2024, you guys.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be great.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Yes. But, I mean, kind of. It's the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a fat, lazy fall. So it's like my New Year's resolution is to get back into Mussel Beach to help them celebrate their 30th anniversary.
30 years. That's kind of been mine too. Like, it's been rough. I have not been going to the gym, but
me neither. And
that's what the holidays are for.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, when we conducted this interview on like November 1st or whenever it was, I even said something to him where I was like, I haven't been in here in a couple of months, and I haven't been in there since the.
He's like, you're still paying. Who cares?
I yeah, I want to create some more new, or at least get back to some old healthy fitness habits. Just take better care of myself. What's yours?
Probably to be more engaged.
With who?
With everyone. This past year, like, I don't think I went out a lot. And it's not that my goal is to go out, but a lot of times I've been a bit of a homebody this year. Yeah. And to not be quite as much, especially like at the age that I'm at, which isn't old or anything, but like at the age that I'm at, I feel like I could easily become a homebody and a little shut-in curmudgeon. And I feel like it's time to be like, let's make an effort to be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Shermudgeon.
A she-mudgeon.
Oh boy.
You know.
Yeah, get out. Go see your friends.
And
you used to go out with your friends and have dinner every Saturday.
I know. And I still do those things. But I remember when I first moved to P-Town, and I feel like you do hit a point in P-Town when you've lived here so long that you're like, I don't want to meet all the new people every year. And I feel like I'm just at that point. I remember my first few years, I was like going out every night in May so I could see all the new people that moved to town and are going to be working and getting to know. And now I'm just like, I don't want to be that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It does take work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll drag you out.
I'm already like, no. And I'm already like, is it okay if I stay in on New Year? It's like,
absolutely. That's the one
night
of the
is.
year where it's totally okay to stay home.
Yeah. Amateur night.
Yeah. And like we have so much going on this week in town that like Sunday night, I don't think I need, like I'm doing so much this weekend.
I can go, like there's so many shows going on. I know the Babes and Boys are going to talk about shows coming up, but I'm not sure they included this one, and I want to give it a little special shout out. Peter Toto has his first piano bar night at the Gifford House this Saturday.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I love Peter Toto.
Me too. Saturday at 9 o'clock. I just sang with him and Eden at the Provincetown Theater's Townie show. It was so much fun. Peter, I got to know him so well over this past summer. I'm starring with him in The Fantastics, and he is so great, so talented. Please go out and check him out at the Gifford House tomorrow night at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock at the Gifford House. Peter Toto is that rare comic genius who can also sing like really, really beautifully. So good.
Yeah, and he is so funny. If you don't follow him on TikTok or Instagram,
he's
probably going to be like, I don't want people that know me following me on TikTok and Instagram.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
What else is going on this weekend?
So much stuff. You're in a show this weekend.
I am in a show tomorrow night. That's why I won't be able to go to Peter
Is that
Choco's
tomorrow
show.
night?
Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday, right?
It is.
So there is a show called Auld Lang Syne, which is hosted by Delta Miles as Judy Garland, I believe.
Work.
And there's a lot of your Provincetown favorite performers doing a number or two. I myself am doing one.
What are you doing?
I can't tell you because I don't know yet.
You've got time?
Yeah. I'm really excited to have been invited to be a part of this show yesterday. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we're also going to do a call-in game again. We haven't done one in so long.
Oh, when are we doing that?
After.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we're gonna we have a pre-tape, then we're gonna come back to us. We're gonna do a little news and then a little game.
Great.
But you're gonna be able to win 2 tickets to that very show, Auld Lang Syne, to see Delta, some of your favorite performers.
Did you say Auld Lang Slide?
Auld Lang Syne?
Yeah.
Okay, did I do it right? Okay, we sang that as the finale number in the Provincetown Townie show. And they're like, you know the words, right? I'm like, oh yeah. And then I got there, I was like, I don't know the
There's
words.
only 5 words, and Auld Lang Syne are 3 of them.
There are more than 5.
No,
which I found.
Should and acquaintance are the other 2 words.
I found out that there were many more words. I was like in the back, kind of trying to hide behind someone. I was like, oh.
Second verse.
What does it mean? There's
Second
2
verse.
verses?
Exactly.
What does Auld Lang Slide mean?
I don't know. It's one of I don't know. It's one of those things that you can translate into many different phrases that all kind of mean the same thing, but there's no like in good new year and bygones be bygones and no. I have no idea.
Mark's like,
Someone will respond.
Someone will respond in the comments, please.
Tell
help
us in the comments
out.
what it means.
And how many words are in it. Yeah. But also another show that I saw over Halloween, The Green Fairy with I'm sure Sam and Carmen are going to go through all of this, but we could do it again too. Yeah. Brittany and Joao and Andrew Shranian are doing a show. They're bringing it back. They did it for Halloween. I caught it then. It was so magical and amazing. They're 2 of my favorite singers and performers in town, but it's called The Green Fairy, and it is tomorrow and Sunday at the Crown. Yeah. Let's do our interview with Marty now. So I sat down with Marti Gould Cummings. They have a show at the Crown and Anchor this weekend, and we caught up about all of their Provincetown past. It's really cute. Yeah, check it out. Morning, everyone. We are here with Marti Gould Cummings, who has a fantastic show at the Wave Bar this upcoming weekend. Thank you so much for sitting down with me this morning.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be back in my no shade to any of the other places that I perform, but P-Town is my favorite place to perform. I think it's where there's a God. That's where they live. So I'm excited to be.
Best audiences in the world, right?
Oh my God. Incredible. I remember years ago, so Jonathan Hawkins, who now owns the Crown, years and years ago, I worked with him on a show that Kevin Aviance and I hosted together. And that was my
audition. Was that audition?
Yeah. So that was my intro to working regularly in P-Town. But a few years before that, I went with friends for the first time and I competed in Showgirls when it was at Patio Bar for that one, not Patio. Oh shoot. It's where Leia Delaria's bar is now. What was the name of that?
Pied Bar.
Yes. So they did it there for one night when it had moved and all the drama, whatever. So, and Patti LuPone was the guest judge. And of course I won. And Patti LuPone.
Wait, Patti LuPone?
Patti LuPone. Patti
Damn.
LuPone. Marla Jean Merman and Patti LuPone. So little baby queen me was, just so excited. And I was so nervous when Patti came on stage at the end when I won that all I could say to her was, oh my gosh, did you know that you were Evita? And she
She was like,
yes, I do know that.
I do, yeah.
But that was my intro, and then I worked with Jonathan at the Crown and Kevin Aviance, who's a legend and having like such an amazing year because of Beyonce this year, and I'm so happy they're getting their flowers, that are so deserved, and then I have just been doing shows there every summer since, and I did New Year's last year at the Crown, so I'm happy to be back and doing something new.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've seen you only perform once before at a drag brunch at the Crown, and it was so fun and so amazing. and I'm so excited to see you get your full show.
Do you have a ticket? I'll give you a ticket.
Not yet. I will though.
I'll give you a ticket.
What can we expect from the show?
So normally I work with a piano player when I do a show in a space like the Wave Bar. Jonathan and I were talking, and I wanted to do something a little just more, not so much like cabaret like I normally do, but just like a fun drag show. This year has been so chaotic. The news is so heavy, and I'm just doing a mix of live vocals of songs that I just love to sing, and then a mix of different lip sync performances that I love to do. Some are just straight through songs, some are drag mixes. I just wanted to have, as we close out this year, just something where people can come and just escape from the chaos of the world, because it feels like every day you open your news app and it's just awful, right? And so I just wanted to close out the year with just a fresh start for everyone, just a cleanse. Let's just have fun. So I'll tell some stories, talk about the year that I had, talk about what I hope for the next year. And I just hope this show is a moment of a 50-minute escape from the chaos of the world. So it's not like my normal in P-Town. It's not like the full cabaret. It's just a escape from the chaos. And I'm excited.
That's great, because I know how involved you are in politics. So it's great that you know that a little escapism is really great sometimes. It's
so important. Now, listen, I love politics. I ran for city council. I work for Equality New York now part-time, helping to pass pro LGBTQ IA plus legislation in the state of New York. I will always be political. I always use my drag to further, a message of hope and kindness and resistance. And we'll talk a little bit about that in the show, of course. But I also understand that part of the movement is giving yourself a moment of self-care, because it is so heavy. So I want this show to be a moment of self-care for people, where they can say, for 50 minutes, I'm going to escape the chaos of the world. And then at the end of the show, I'll give them a little info on how they can get involved. But then we'll go and have the rest of the night to ring in the new year. But I think it's important. That escape is important because it is heavy. And if you're not recharging, if you're not taking the time to do something fun and exciting for yourself, you'll burn out, and then we're not going to get the progressive work done that we need. So this show is about a little recharge and a little reset for everyone.
That's very true. Do you have any New Year's resolutions going into your New Year's show?
Okay, so New Year's resolution, I always how about we do New Year's aspirations? Because resolution is like something you like, it has to happen. But aspirations are something you hope to work towards. So for me, I would say my New Year's aspiration is to not get so anxious about the things that don't need anxiety, right? Like that, I'm 36 now, I'll be 37 in July, and I've been doing drag for 16 years. And I think all performers, all humans get caught up in that, like, was I good? Did they like me? Was it, and it's that crazy cycle in our head. And I want to just work on breaking free of that, where I can just say, you know what? I did the damn thing. I went out and I did the show, and I did the best I could on the night that was given, and I just want to release the anxieties. We get so wrapped up in self-doubt, and I want to release myself of that and know, like, you know what, bitch, you are good. That's why you're performing at the Crown and Anchor in P-Town. So turn it out and serve it.
I love that. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. That's some great advice. Definitely some I could take, and probably all of our viewers. But thank you so much. We'll see you this Sunday, 7:30 at the Wave Bar.
I'm so excited. And then afterwards, Mackenzie and I will be hosting the big ball drop countdown in the Paramount, which I'm so excited for.
Oh my God, that's going to be incredible.
I can't wait. I'll see you Sunday.
Awesome. I'll see you then.
Do that again with more time.
Yeah. Good morning. Get tickets to see Marty's show this weekend at the Crown.
Do you remember Audition?
I do.
Was that your first summer or was that before?
That
you?
was the year, 2 years before my first summer.
Oh, okay, 14.
But the fun thing about Audition is, so the main prize was you got to have a show at the Crown the next summer, and part of the prize was you got to stay in a house, like you got a weekly rental for that week, and Bang got third place and got to stay in the house and be in the show. But obviously Bang was living in town at the time, so Bang offered the bed to me, so I got to come that week and see the show that was the prize with Chelsea Piers, Jackie Cox, and Nomi Sass. That's why I met Jackie Cox. Jockey Cox. No, I met Jackie Cox that summer because we stayed in the house.
Oh my god. I mean, I did compete at Audition once that summer.
What did you do?
I don't remember, but we won.
You don't remember, but you won.
Oh,
the amount of winning performances I've done. How could I possibly remember them all?
Hey, Ryan, Reggie still talks to you?
Yes. Stop.
Wow. Let's talk about something else now.
Yeah. And this is another couple events that I'm sure Sam and Carmen are going to mention later, but I did want to give them an extra plug as well. Sam is DJing all over town this weekend. New Year's Eve at Purgatory and New Year's Day at the Hair of the Dog Disco right here at the Provincetown Brewery Company. That is one of my favorite parties of the entire year. It is a daytime disco. Sam's going to have the tunes going. It is so much fun. Everyone's a little hungover and drowning that with some golden hook ale.
And I just want to say, if you happen to see Sam and Carmen at the movie theater, I don't mean to speak for you right now, Sam. Say hi.
Yeah.
If you recognize the babes and boys, babes, say hi.
Yeah, I mean, Wake Up in Provincetown is a one weird, big, happy family where we all know each other, but we don't because there's a camera between all of us. But we love when people say hi to us. Or if you're at Little Bar and...
It wasn't Little Bar.
Where were you?
I was playing bingo the other night with Jennifer Cabral.
Where's that?
It's in the disco now.
Oh, but at a house.
At the
Gotcha.
House. And Wednesday was Jennifer's birthday. Happy birthday, Jennifer. And her nieces, of course, own that bar. And she had never been to bingo. And she's like, oh, I guess I'll go there with you after dinner. And this nice young man came up and was like, hey, I love your morning show. My name is so-and-so. And, I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity. And Jennifer laughed in my face. She went, ha, 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 celebrity. I was like, it's great to have your dearest friends nearby to keep you humble.
Jealousy.
Thank you, Jennifer. But then on her birthday, she won the major jackpot.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's so serendipitous.
It was. And then so she went up and sat at the table with Liza and like basked in the glow. This was right after we were sitting at
almost like she's a celebrity.
We were sitting at the long table, like 8 of us, and something happened and the table literally went bam, and all of the drinks and all of the daubers, the papers, everything slid onto the floor, got all over Joe Lamarty, like all the drinks landed on him. It was a really fun bingo night.
Not for Joe.
Speaking of Joe and fun nights, last night for trivia was wild.
That's great.
We had over 20 teams here at the brewery. It was so much fun. And I was like, my co-host who I thought was in town, I found out very late in the day that they were like, oh, I'm not in town. I thought I told you. And it was just miscommunication. I was like, that's okay. I'll host alone. And I was like, well, I hope people come.
You were by yourself?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Why don't you ever ask me to co-host it with you?
Do you want to co-host with me next week?
No.
Okay.
Wait, next week? The 4th?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Can we all do it?
Yeah, everyone can co-host. I won't do it.
These people are always available to you.
I know. There's so many people that I love asking and I know would love to do it, but it was one of those things last night where I found so late just asking someone I'm like, can you write a trivia round in 45 minutes and then get here?
Just have them read one of your old ones.
That's true. That's what I did.
20 teams.
I did Oscar nominations and I'm like, yeah, because the Oscar nominations are in 3 weeks.
Oh.
That's why I did that. But I had written it for last year. And then on the fly, changing the tense. I'm like, last year, Baz Luhrmann got nominated for Elvis. I am excited about the Oscar nominations coming up. I think this might be the year that an actual gay person wins for playing an actual gay character.
Who?
There's just a lot of people.
Timothée Chalamet for Wonka?
No.
Just kidding. I don't know.
The guy who played the priest in Fleabag
Andrew Scott
is being talked about for an Oscar nomination. There's just there's a lot of people that are being thrown around as potentially being nominated for an Oscar who are queer people playing queer people.
Interesting.
Which would be wild and nice and fun if that were to happen.
We'll see in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to happen during our break. Did you tell everybody that we're taking a break?
We haven't yet.
Oh, guys, we're taking a break.
Yeah, so last year we took about a month off and it was So magical. We love doing this and being here with you all, but it also is nice to not have, to do it every week.
It's actually hard to do this once a week all year. So
Mhm.
we took a little break last winter. We're going to do it again this year. We have a show next Monday. We have a show next Friday, January 5th, because we wanted to do the last Friday of the year and the first Friday of the year.
Mhm.
And then we're going to take a little respite.
Yeah. But we're gonna do like a throwback. We used to post all of our performances, interviews, stuff like that separately, and we haven't done that for a few years. So over the break, I'm gonna try to every day. Please don't hold me to that, but I'm gonna try. Clip out an old performance or an old interview as kind of like a look back at the few years that we've been doing this.
Yeah, clip out.
Yeah.
Speaking of look backs, the nostalgia issue.
Oh yeah.
Look at.
So this past week, the Provincetown Independent didn't do a typical
Issue
edition of the newspaper. The newspaper this week is all about nostalgia. So it's all about Provincetown nostalgia, looking back years past, this past year, and it's really beautiful. And they even in the arts issue, they have on the front and back a few of our favorites. This is a painting by Paul Rizzo, one of our favorites. We loved him. And then on the back, it is Joe Navas. He is an incredible photographer. You can follow him. I think it's Joe Inc. on Instagram. And some
Brittany.
Yeah, one of our favorites, Brittany.
Pick up a copy of this Independent.
Yeah.
Very fun to look back at the 90s in Provincetown.
Yeah. Okay, I do have a few quick news stories. So this past week, Simone Biles was interviewed along with her husband. I had to Google his name.
Joe Biles.
His name is Jonathan Owens. He plays football. I think he's really great at football, but I don't think he's a star of football. And the reason that the interview kind of blew up is because in the interview, they were interviewing her husband, and they got to a question where they're like, we have to ask, how did you land Simone Biles? And he immediately got incredibly defensive and was like, I'm the catch. She's lucky to have me, blah, blah, blah. And the internet kind of ran wild with that sentiment because a lot of people were like, how are you the catch when no one even knew that Simone Biles was married, let alone to you? And my takeaway, it kind of was a little uncomfortable watching this woman who is one of the most decorated athletes of all time, one of the best athletes of all time, diminish herself to make this man's ego feel better.
I mean, he totally missed an opportunity to make a stick the landing joke. If somebody says, how did you land Simone Biles? You say, after a triple twisting, triple back.
That is a good one.
Like this. I landed her like this.
He needs a good writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy sucks.
Yeah.
She's the greatest of all time in her sport. You are another guy who plays football.
Yeah. He's very handsome. They seem to love each other very much, but it's just like I feel like I've seen a lot of incredible women diminishing themselves lately to lift up some mediocre man, and I don't want to see that anymore.
Well, she's in love.
Yeah.
She looks up to him.
The quotes from the interview.
She looks up to everybody.
She's a little. She was quoted as saying, in a few years, you won't be calling him Simone Biles' husband. You'll be calling me Jonathan Owens' wife. And I was like, I don't think that's true. And then she tweeted a couple days later after the internet went wild. She said, are you done yet? And everyone's like, we're not done yet.
She's not taking our side, and we're just taking her side.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. It was, I didn't care for the interview. Did you see that video of the two guys having the meltdown in that airport?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. So two gentlemen from Fort Lauderdale had a meltdown when they're...
Specifically Wilton Manors.
They drag them. So they had a meltdown when their flight was delayed, and I guess they were like, if our flight is delayed, we need to see our dogs.
They were separated from their children. They're girls.
So the video starts with a man seemingly about to fly off the handle and his husband trying to calm him down. Like, think of the girls. You can't do this. You can't act like a fool. Like, think of the girls, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, they have kids, blah, blah, blah. And then as I watch it, I'm like, they're talking about their dogs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Remember the girls. Calm down.
My most shocking takeaway was their ages.
Why?
I would have guessed they were much older than the media was reporting them to be, and I wonder if they asked them, and they're like, we're 38. And,
Yeah, they said they were 38.
40 and 42.
Oh.
Younger than you. Did they read as younger to you?
Well, they just read as stupider than me.
Yeah, and drunk off a few airport Cosmos.
I know, but don't you? I hate when it's like, gays acting badly in public because they try to stick it to us all.
They're
They're like these Louis Vuitton toting faggots in the airport terminal. I'm like, did we have to
Which
mention
news article?
every article that I read about it was like they had Louis Vuitton bags around their arms while they screamed at this handicapped woman's face. And I was like, do we have to mention what kind of luggage they were carrying? Is that really like
We do about George Santos.
is that pertinent to the story? Another gay guy.
And you also know these.
Like when a white Karen acts up in a Walmart,
It's always a white Karen.
right? But
She's not carrying a Louis Vuitton bag.
right, but they're never like mentioning the kind of shirt she's wearing.
That's true, I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
And also, like, those guys have like one Louis bag that they bring out for airplane
Right, that they
flights.
carry like this.
Yeah, to seem fancy. They were wearing matching sweaters. It was kind of cringy.
But it's like whenever you hear about these gays acting badly in public, you just know you're like, it's gonna be a couple of white dudes. And I'm always like, they're gay. Just please don't also be Asian. Please don't also be Asian. And then they're not. It's just
You're like, oh, those people.
It's just a couple of white guys acting up in an airport.
Yeah. It's just I looked in as things started to come out about this couple. It turns out that so they live in a condo complex in Wilton Manors, and one of their neighbors is a trans adult entertainer. And she said that they are constantly harassed by this man, the one who flew off the handle. And the only reason that they haven't pushed to evict them, like transphobic, like really bad stuff. And the only reason that they haven't tried to evict them or get them in trouble is because the other guy is such a sweetheart.
But you are the company you keep. If that's your husband, you're enabling that person. You know, right?
Oh, as we see in town.
Oh, wow.
I actually said,
as we see in town, Mark says.
I actually said that to someone. I ran into them and I had a slight confrontation with someone, and they were like, well, why aren't we chat? Well, like, what happened between us? And I was like, well, you are the company you keep, birds of a feather flock together, and the endless amounts of colloquialisms based around the idea that if you hang out with assholes, you're probably an asshole.
So you basically told your friend that all of his new friends are assholes and you don't want to hang out with him anymore?
Yeah.
Who?
No.
He knows what you're talking about.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, you're just in your own experience.
I was just talking about couples that
Yeah, and it's also like if there's that many phrases that say like if you hang out with bad people, you're probably a bad person.
Right.
Like it's probably true that if you hang out with bad people, you're probably a bad person.
There's definitely a little bit of truth to that. But I mean, if you haven't seen any of the memes that have been created about these two guys, there's a woman in a wheelchair. I don't know what she said to him to elicit this response.
I think her guide dog was laying down, and it was clear the dog was like, because this man was standing screaming in an airport and kind of assaulted his husband.
Oh yeah, they were shoving each other while holding a Louis Vuitton bag like this. So who's
homophobic now?
So the woman in the wheelchair, he literally screams in her face. He goes, "Fuck off, bitch! Fuck off, bitch!" And they have taken that and applied it to everything.
Yeah, it's pretty magical. If you haven't seen it, it is. I just love videos like that.
Yeah.
I love just witnessing
Have you
people in
seen
the
it?
lowest moments of their life.
I know. It's like me when somebody says Taylor Swift doesn't write her own songs. Fuck off, bitch. Me when fill in the blank. I mean, I ate on that for like a whole day.
Yeah, and I shouldn't make too much fun because I'm not going to say that I'm not a person where I might lose my temper and fly off the handle. Well, someone's like, but please, that's my New Year's resolution. Not to have a meltdown in an airport.
My New Year's resolution is to stop at 4 Cosmos in the American Airlines Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly had a lot to drink that day.
Yeah. Okay, one more news story and then we can move along.
Okay.
So yesterday, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was released from prison. She was released at her earliest parole date possible in her 10-year sentence. She served about a little over 7 years, I think. If you don't know this story, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was a child whose mother had Munchausen's by proxy. Munchausen's by proxy is when a caregiver fakes or exaggerates or induces illnesses in someone close to them for sympathy and attention. Her mother had told her that she had leukemia, muscular dystrophy, among other things, allergies to sugar. And then slowly over the course of her life, she realized that it probably wasn't true. She was subjected to over 30 unnecessary surgeries by her mother. Because
her mom did them?
Basically, a lot of times when people have this, they hop between doctors because you can convince them enough to put things into the medical records that then you can pass along to the next doctor and be like, this happened. And
how do you get somebody to perform a surgery like that, though?
She ended up going to prison because she met this man online who they started a relationship, and then they conspired to murder her mother. And she sat in a room while her boyfriend came over and stabbed her mother to death. She says that she is now 32, and she says that she regrets being a part of it every day. She said she was a sick woman, and unfortunately, I wasn't educated enough to see that. She deserved to be where I am, sitting in prison doing time for criminal behavior. Which is true.
Did the boyfriend go to jail too?
Yeah.
Is he still in jail?
I think so, yeah. But somehow she's become kind of like a queer icon.
Really?
People are like, she's got to be a judge on Drag Race. We need her on Hot Ones. We need her. Yeah. But the first thing she did was buy a pair of shoes, which I think is so symbolic, considering she spent most of her life confined to a wheelchair, even though she didn't have to be confined to a wheelchair. So I wish her a happy and healthy life moving forward, and I hope she gets to heal from the trauma that she's experienced.
You were saying that you thought this prison penalty was too harsh.
I feel like at some point it's self-defense, and obviously, like she says and admits, like there should have been a different course, but to be subjected to that, I can't imagine.
Right.
To have your life taken away like that.
Yeah, I mean, she could have just been like, my mother told me I couldn't walk, and she also told me that I secretly had murderous tendencies.
Oh my God, we have to do the game. Let's do the game. Okay, so this is going to be a call-in game. Bob is going to do a monologue. You have to call us and tell us what this movie is from, or what movie this monologue is from.
You're doing great.
There's a bit of a delay, so call as soon as you can. Put in my number now. It's 617-676-7597. And like we said, this is to win 2 tickets to Auld Lang Syne. Did I say it?
Yes.
Right? Okay, perfect. Take it away.
This is a very short quote, you guys. It is just one line from a movie.
One line.
And here, well, kind of.
Okay.
Here's how it goes. And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
Aww.
Isn't that sweet?
That is really sweet.
Nice
Good
job,
year?
Mark. And
Did I do it?
no, that's not that one. We're gonna do that later. This is a great idea for a New Year's.
Oh, we have a call.
Oh, already. You're gonna get 2 tickets to Auld Lang Syne. If you
Hello,
can name the
caller. What's your name? Where are you
this
calling
is
from?
Harry and Miss Sally.
It is from Harry and Miss Sally. Who is this?
This is Mark Scott from down the street.
Hi, Mark Scott. We're gonna have you on the list for 2 tickets for Auld Lang Syne tomorrow night at the Crown and Anchor.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you so
for
much
playing.
for calling in.
Congratulations, Mark Scott. No, so here's the.
Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
We have to do this too anyway, just because I thought it was so funny. Mark narrowed it down to 2 monologues for us to play this game, and here's the other one.
Don't call in. This is no longer.
Yeah, you're not going to win anything. Mark Scott just won the prize. It's the same old story. Boy finds girl, boy loses girl. Girl finds boy, boy forgets girl, boy remembers girl. Girl dies in a tragic blimp accident over the Orange Bowl on New Year's Day.
Goodyear?
No, the worst.
Okay.
That's from Naked Gun, and we just thought it was so funny that we wanted to.
Well, now we can't use that one again. So Bob hung out with Rick Murray over at Mussel Beach in celebration of their 30th anniversary.
You guys, if you have a New Year's resolution to get back to the gym like I do, this is the time to do it. Please enjoy this interview. Hey everybody, I'm at Mussel Beach where Rick Murray is celebrating his 30th anniversary of this local institution. 30 years.
Yes.
Did you think when you opened the gym that there would be a day 30 years later where you'd be like, I've been doing this for 30 years?
Yeah, actually, I knew it would be long lasting.
Yeah.
It was needed at the time.
What was this before it was the gym?
This was the Bonnie Doon restaurant. It was abandoned with a big hole in the ceiling for 2 or 3 years. And everybody's car got towed out back when they tried to park there. And we bought it 1994, 95.
Yeah.
Renovated it and opened here 30 years ago. This summer.
Was there a gym in town before?
Provincetown Gym was actually located now right beside Land's End Marine. Betty Villari had the gym. Back then it was $85 a month. And right now, 30 years later, we charge $89 a month.
It was $85 a month then?
Then, yes.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, we did, we changed sort of the pricing strategy in town. We let people join for a day or for a week or for 10 days or for a month or 3 months. Way back then it was a day, a month, or a year. There was no other options.
And I mean, for 20 of the 30 years that you did this, you were also doing the Crown and Anchor at the same time.
Yes, yes.
How did it not drive you completely crazy to be doing all of that?
Well, fortunately, I was gifted with 3 really good general managers that ran Mussel Beach for me. Just recently, obviously, during the pandemic, Joe Bruno, who now opened up Bruno's Chop Shop, has been my manager now for 4 or 5 years. And before that, Gary Reinhardt.
I remember when I started working out here, Gary
was the manager, and My cousin Randy moved here, recovering from cancer, and he was my manager for a long period of time. So I've been fortunate to have really good managers to run this while I was basically the crown 24/7, as you well know. Being a past employee.
That too. My first boss in Provincetown. And so now that you don't have all of that other stuff at the Crown to constantly worry about and this to focus on. I see you've got a lot of renovating going on in the front outside here. What else have you got coming along to commemorate 30 years?
Well, last year we bought a brand new line of Cybex equipment for the gym. This year we're renovating the entire front landscaping because it's 30 years old, and we wanted to make gonna plant 3 or 4 new trees and open it up a little bit. And then we've just ordered a lot of equipment that's going to be delivered probably March or April. All new dumbbells, all new benches.
Excellent.
So every 4 or 5 years we try to reinvest in the business and new equipment and new things.
Yeah, and I know all summer you were doing like games and giveaways.
Yeah, we did a raffle this year. I went around and I bought a $50 gift to a 20 business, the Red Inn where you work. We did it at the Provincetown Brewery. We did hair salons. We did Relish. We did all these different businesses in town. So every week, people would put their name and phone number in a little basket, and every week we draw it. And fortunately, probably 85% of the winners were year-round residents here in Provincetown, and many of them said they'd never won anything before. So it was fun. Yeah, it was good. It was a nice way of thanking everybody for 30 years of their patronage, and we wanted to give something back as well.
Do you have 30 more years in you?
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
But like the idea of like selling it and retiring, that's not
No, that's
crossing
not.
your mind.
No. Well, today's November 1st, my first day on Medicare, so I have my new Medicare card. That's why I had to take that phone call for Medicare. So no, obviously, when we first came here, I was 28 years old. Now I'm 65, so we've been around for a long time. But at some point it'll happen, but not in the near future.
Well, I know with the Crown and with the gym, you've always done your part to help keep the town fun and gay. And so I just want to say thank you for, just participating in the community here and giving people a reason to come and have fun and be themselves.
Well, it's rewarding too, because we're open every day except for Christmas. And obviously it's a healthy environment.
Right.
Everybody works out, and it's much more congenial here and friendly, and people get friendships in the wintertime. So it's nice. Yeah.
And thank you for not saying live on camera how you haven't seen me in here since July.
Well, you're busy at the Red Inn.
I've been busy,
yeah.
but I'm coming back.
Oh, good. Peter's been back.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, he looks good
No,
too.
I know.
You got work to do.
I do. I have to catch up.
Thank you for letting me be part of your wake up
Of course.
live in Provincetown. I appreciate you guys, and Jonathan and the boys at the brewery. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Yeah, come down and say hi, guys. We'll see you soon. Now's a great time to go start a new membership there, renew your annual membership.
Or if you haven't already, just get back.
Yeah.
I'm saying that to ourselves.
Yes. Rick, we will see you in there soon.
Yeah. Please welcome Carlos Jimenez to the Wake Up stage.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little hungover, but we're good.
Aren't we all?
We're
It's
here.
the long weekend and it's just
Started
starting.
the beginning. Yeah.
So you are taking over for this winter the drawing sessions at Gifford House.
Right.
Tell us a little about how it got started and then how it fell into your hands.
Sure. There's been some figure drawing sessions, more like in the private side before, and that's where we actually met the group, some of the artists in town. But earlier this year, Eric Lesh from Eric Lesh Gallery started the sessions at Gifford House. But some of you know Eric leaves town for the winter, so he offered my husband, Phil Jimenez, and myself if we wanted to keep it. So Steve was kind enough to let us continue, and it's been great. Actually, it's been growing more than we expected it. So that's how it started, and it's great because it's a mix of great artists from town, that do amazing stuff. We can see it actually here, some of their art, but also people that have never even grabbed a pencil. So it's very cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
How often do you do it?
We do it every Tuesday at 7:30. The Wolf Theater, and for the most part, you can check that on my social or Gifford House. And we did it before at 8:30, but people were saying that it was a little too late for them. So
This time of year.
yeah,
In the winter,
especially-
I'm like anything after 6. I'm like,
everybody's afraid of the coyotes. So we moved it from 7:30 to 9:30, and it's nude model. We have a new model every week. For the most part, we had actually only men last year, but the session is open to anybody. We have a few women attending, to do some drawing, and we actually did a little survey and see if we wanted women to pose, and people are pretty much in favor of that.
That's
so
awesome.
we're gonna just like keep it moving and evolving. It's a work in progress, but we're very excited.
Can you kind of be any skill level coming in?
Any skill level is welcome. We actually provide some supplies for those that are, have never, don't even own a pencil. For the most part, all artists bring their own. But again, if you don't have anything, we have drawing pads, charcoals, pencils. But again, all artists use whatever media they want. We have some people that do watercolor. So it's really open to whatever you want to do.
How much talking and instructing going on is there?
That's a great question, Bob. But no, actually, for the most part, the previous sessions that we attended, there was not a lot of instruction, but we're lucky enough to have Phil Jimenez, which is a DC comic writer.
No relation.
And no relation. We call each other cousins, but so far we don't know. But yeah, Phil is actually he actually helps the model pose. So actually, also anybody watching, if you would be interested in posing, please contact us. But Phil helps the model with the poses, and he also gives some instruction to whoever wants to learn more about proportions and any technique. So obviously, if you are an expert, you don't really have to listen to that.
Right.
So.
I modeled for a class like that once before. It is hard. You're like, oh, I'm just standing there. And it's like, you're just standing there. And then after 30 seconds, you're like, I have to just keep standing here.
It is, especially, we do, the short poses are like, we start with like warming up for like 2-minute poses, but then it moves into like 5-minute, 10-minute, and then we do a few 20-minute poses. And yeah, those are hard.
Yeah.
So,
and you're like, oh, I can hold this pose easy. And then you get 5 minutes in and you're like, this isn't easy anymore.
We've got a few models falling asleep.
Really?
In the last pose, yes. But
that's
as long as you hold
it's
it.
better to fall asleep. What for me was turned into shaking because I was trying to hold this pose that I shouldn't have been.
So we're not gonna have you model, I guess.
No.
Well, like you said, Phil, I'll come and draw.
Okay.
I love to draw, but like I wasn't sure if you could come with. I haven't studied or practiced in a really long time, and like I don't know anything about figure drawing.
It's again, like people come and do like little sticks and circles, and people do great stuff too. Cool. So any skill is welcome. It's a lot of fun. It feels now like the community is growing, and the great artists of town are very kind to share their knowledge with the people sitting next to them while they sip their cosmos. And also during breaks, people get to know the people in town. I have to say, like last year was my first winter in town as a year-round resident, and that's how I met most of my friends now. So it's a great thing to do. We're gonna keep it going for the rest of the winter and possibly the summer. We'll see.
Awesome. Who are some of your favorite nude models?
Oh, some of my friends. We did actually have a little survey at the end of the session of this year, and our favorite model was Colin, mostly because he was great with his poses. He had very interesting poses for everybody, held them perfectly. And we actually gave him a little prize. So obviously for 2024, we're gonna continue the tradition, and we let the people vote who their favorite model is.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
This Tuesday?
This Tuesday is gonna be our first one of 2024. We have Andrew Butler, our little bartender from Giefer House.
Cute.
He's opening the season, and we already have lined up a few other local models for January.
That's awesome. Can we plug your kilts for a second?
Sure.
Tell us a little about it.
I'm the I'm the local quiltress. That Quilt Plus is my brand, is my side business, and you can find them at Plush, Provincetown, some of them, otherwise online. And of course, some of you have seen me sometimes in the markets. So wherever I can to go and sell my little skirts.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Let's take it over to Babes and Boys to find out everything we've got going on this weekend.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good holiday weekend. What day is it? Is it New Year's yet? Anyway, we have a lot coming up for you starting today, Friday. A gallery reception for Decked, sponsored by the PBC, will be open to the public at the Pride Center at 115 Bradford Street today, again, from 4 to 7, and features several queer artists from the Commons. Also this weekend, A House is hosting New Year's Eve dance parties every night from Friday through Sunday. Then on Saturday, you can wrap up your holidays in 2023 with Well Strung, the singing string quartet, playing on December 30th at 7:30 at Town Hall. Then on Sunday, New Year's Eve bingo will be hosted by Mackenzie and Austin at the Crown and Anchor from 3 to 5. You can get tickets early as well, because they might sell out, so get on them tickets. And then the Light Bright Bike Ride through Provincetown 2023 is a bike ride from the library to the boat slip on New Year's Eve. The ride will depart out in front of the library at 4:30 and ride along Commercial Street to the boat slip. If you're not riding, please cheer the folks along on the route as they ride by. Come on by the library at 3:30 to share any extra lights or decorations that other people might want to use if you have any extra, and ride on Commercial Street. The event's free. Also, you can enjoy a Vinyasa yoga class and beachside fireworks viewing from the yoga joint from 4 to 5:30 on Sunday. And then the official fireworks display on New Year's Eve over Macmillan Pier is set to go off at dusk. So what time is that exactly? That is dusk. The time that of dusk is. So just prepare to be where you'd like to be around 4 p.m. Sunset is about 4:15, and the best guess is that the fireworks will be set to go off within the hour, between 4 to 5. Get settled at 4, I would say. There will also be 2 prefix dinners at 5:15 and 9:15, 2 seatings New Year's Eve at the club with live jazz performances by Leah Delaria herself, and an exceptional view of the fireworks from the back patio. They really do have some good fireworks viewing back there at the club. Also on New Year's Eve, the Underground is hosting a New Year's Eve dance party from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. No cover. And a champagne toast is in the mix, along with DJ Jose turning the tables. Then at Gifford House, they'll be presenting a New Year's Eve ball at the end of the world with myself as DJ from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. The ball drop screening will be in the wild, champagne toast also, and consensual kissing and lots of dancing. Time to let it roll. Monday then, if you can get yourself out of bed, you can join hundreds of plungers on New Year's Day at the 8th annual Polar Plunge fundraiser for the Center for Coastal Studies. This is at 11 a.m. on January 1st at the Johnson Street parking lot. The Polar Plungers can enjoy beachside DJ, a funk bus warming station before the plunge, and the dive-in is at noon, then followed by Chilean cocktails at Harbor Lounge. What a great tradition. Get your plunge on. Then Governor Bradford's is hosting the Hangover Cure Party at 2 p.m. with Abby Cummings, Lux Liaison, Kaya Cristal, and Mackenzie. You can come on by and for the drag and stay for the noodles, the games, the prizes, and the free-flowing Bloody Marys. That'll be a good time at Governor Bradford's. Then you also have the Hair of the Dog Disco returning to the Brewing Company again on New Year's Day from 2 to 5 with myself as DJ. So come on by and hang out. We'll have a great time on New Year's Day. Then on Tuesday, while Liz's Cafe is normally closed on Tuesday in the winter months, in answer to our prayers, they will be open this coming Tuesday, January 2nd, so get on out to Liz's. And then on Wednesday, there will be bingo at the Little Bar. It will continue all winter long. The bar opens at 4 p.m. and bingo starts at 9 p.m. Then on Thursday, trivia will be at the brewery. It will continue all throughout the winter, so get your trivia on this Thursday at the brewery. Also note, next Friday, as a quick heads up, it will be the relaunch of this season's RuPaul's weekly viewing party at the Crown and Anchor in the Paramount with your hosts Mackenzie and Austin. So it's a full week. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that you get a good chance to rest, relax, and I'll see you out there for the parties. Bye.
You've got so much to do this weekend. Try to make it as much as you can. It's going to be a really fun weekend.
Please welcome to the show for the first time. You haven't been here before, have you?
No.
Miguel, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
You are a current Fine Arts Work Fellow,
Yes.
right?
How is that?
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm always so jealous that people get to do that. It seems like such a great situation.
I can imagine why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my first time here, and it's kind of like I've been like the town like blow my mind, but also like the Fine Arts Work Center as a place, as a community, it's like an amazing place to be, and also an amazing place to learn about Provincetown and connect with the Provincetown community. So here we are.
You hadn't been before?
Nope, first time.
Where are you from?
I'm from Venezuela, but I live in New York.
Nice. How long have you been in New York?
3 years.
How are you enjoying Provincetown?
A lot. It's kind of like a very strong community. I've never been here in summer, but I'm not even curious. I think I will prefer it as it is right now.
Not curious at all.
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think like this time you have your own events, your own dynamics. It's kind of like you feel like the real community in
Absolutely.
Provincetown, and I think that's so special.
Yeah, you have plenty of time for that later.
I hope so.
And in the summer, that community's still there. They're by the smoking section at tea.
They're hiding it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So you're a visual arts fellow.
Yes.
How many visual arts fellows are there?
I think we're about like 10 somehow. Yes.
And your project you're working on this winter is the first in kind of a series of projects, is my understanding?
Yeah. The whole project or the whole idea is to create a queer fairy tale in Provincetown, and that involves like different chapters and different way of community engagement. And the first one is the one that we just launched, which is a Map of Love. And the idea is to collect stories, like queer stories about like different peoples related with the town, like honoring the queer legacy of this place, but also like drawing some different stories also for the future. I think like for me, the value of the project is also to collect these stories like for kids. And that's what I think about. It's important, like fairy tales, because it's the first way to learn. So you learn through these stories. So like diversifying this narrative, changing this narrative, and also like working inside a town that is kind of like a queer fairy tale itself. Right. I think that's something that like triggered my curiosity about like this subject, and it's something that I owe to myself that I never did, like a queer work. And I think this is the perfect place to explore that.
And so you're hoping you need people to give you true love stories that happen in Provincetown. That's what you're looking to collect right now?
Yes, like any story. Like it doesn't need to be like the long, successful relationship story. It could be like whatever love means to you and whatever thing you can learn or do or give advice to other people, especially for kids. So that is kind of a story that I'm trying to collect. Also, I think it's something that I'm doing like for me to learn. And I'm curious about like the responses and the answers and the feedback.
I mean, Provincetown, I feel like it incubates so much unique love stories because it's just a different environment than, I don't want to say the rest of the world, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Things are so transient, people come and go so often. So I imagine you're getting a lot of kind of unique, weird angles of what love is.
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm looking for, like to diversify like this narrative and things that there's like so many special ways to relate with love. In this place, I think like encourage that. I think it's also very easy to fall in love here.
Have you fallen in love yet?
I'm trying to.
Someone who's open to it.
I'm like, oh, you're so new. I'm just kidding.
Harrison's fallen in love with chicken parm.
Yes. Mark called me Rubenesque while over the break.
No.
I'm just kidding. Have you gotten any love stories yet? Have you begun compiling any?
Yeah, I've been compiling it. Like the idea is like to share some of the results of the outcome of these projects in a showcase exhibition that we will have at the Finance Work Center. In this case, it will be on March 22nd. And then it will be different events. Like we're hoping to do a performance with people participation on March, at the end of March 30. And it will be a performance where I will be inviting people to give me a kiss or a flower. So I think that's the moment to find love somehow. Yeah. And that's what I hope. So yeah, it's kind of like an experimental projects, like with the place, with the town, with the history. And I think like the outcomes will unfold while I'm collecting like information and all of that.
How will the stories be worked into the exhibition?
The idea is like to draw them up, like to use this information to like redraw the map of like Provincetown, but in this case, through the stories, through the memories, and through the words.
And if somebody wants to tell you their story, how can they reach out to you?
Yes, like you can visit my website, miguelbraceli.com, and then you will find in words like Provincetown Map of Love, and you can like sign in and fill the form. You can do it like anonymous. You can do it with name or with name and last name. It's up to you. What is important is like to share. And also you can visit like a Finance World Center social media. So there's like many ways where you can fill the form and find it and more information about that project.
Nice. That's really cool. I love that there's so much that has been cataloged and documented about Provincetown, but like it feels like no one has felt the need to like catalog the love that's happened here. So I think it's really cool to kind of put that into an exhibition.
Yeah. I'm excited, and also like I've already like been collecting like stories. I think Carlos like sent one.
Aww.
So yeah, and I hope to have more.
Have any of them shocked you?
A little bit, but in a good way. So I think it's always in a good way. So that's what I would like. We're looking for, like basically to change the way that we relate with these stories.
Have any of the stories began under a certain dock in town?
There are love stories that began
Yes,
there.
there are.
I'm also like looking for like places, like what are like the places to fall in love. So I think that's a popular.
Yeah, I'm sure it is popular. Thank you so much for coming in this
Thank
morning. Please go to Miguel Braceli's website and submit a love story if you have one.
Yeah, Braceli, Miguel Braceli. Perfect. I think that's our show.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Please have a fantastic year moving forward. Please be safe this weekend. It's a weekend where people get a little wild, so just be careful.
We wish you all lots of love, happiness, and good health in 2024. And if it occurs to you that you might want to sponsor our show for the next year, reach out to us now or during the break.
Thank you to our current sponsors, the Brass Key, the Provincetown Brewing Company, Crown and Anchor, the Boat Slip, and the Provincetown Business Guild.
Yeah, thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are. We'll see you next year.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown.